Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So in this one I wanted to talk about what happens when a bandsaw blade breaks. So this past weekend I was working on my bandsaw here and the blade snapped on me. So right at the beginning of the video here I'm going to let you know that there isn't going to be any footage of the actual bandsaw blade breaking because I wasn't recording. I was just working on a little side project. I wasn't planning on actually recording anything, and that is kind of the exact reason why I ended up having the blade break. So I wanted to make this video talking about this because it seems like something that every woodworker knows is going to happen eventually, but everyone, no one really talks about what the actual experience is. So as a new woodworker, when you hear about the fact that bandsaw blades can break fairly easily, it sounds quite terrifying because you imagine the blade just kind of spinning around like crazy, getting shot out, whatever crazy things your mind comes up with. The idea of a bandsaw blade breaking kind of sounds pretty scary. But in reality, when it happened this weekend for me, it was kind of a scary experience, I'm not going to lie. But it wasn't nearly as bad as I would have thought. Because all that happens when a bandsaw blade breaks is it basically just comes to a complete stop. Now, when you think about how a bandsaw actually works, this makes complete sense why the blade just kind of stops. Because what happens when that blade breaks is this top wheel here completely loses tension. And so in the case of most bandsaws, they are designed to work around these blade breaks because it is kind of a common part of working with bandsaws. And so what happened with my bandsaw here when that blade broke is that this top wheel here, which is the tensioning wheel on most bandsaws, just completely lost tension. It just went fully to the top and just kept spinning there until it, kind of slowed down on its own accord. But it just completely lost all tension that it had and shot up to the top there. And so what that means is that the blade was no longer gripping on either of the wheels. So the blade went fully to the top of the bandsaw here. You can see there's a little lip right by the top of the door here. It went up and sat in there, and then on the bottom side, it went and did the exact same thing. It just drooped all the way to the bottom. And so then the blade wasn't even touching the drive wheel on the bottom or this wheel on the top. So it's actually a very safe thing, and it's not something you ever actually need to worry about. And so that being said, is you don't want to work your blades until they break. So if you're constantly working your bandsaw blades until they break in your machine's not going to last nearly as long. It's just, you're just making your machine do something that it is designed to do, but only as an emergency circumstance. And so in reality, you want to try and avoid letting blades break within your machine because there's a few things that are kind of not great about it. For one, you're releasing a lot of tension really quickly, which is not good for this whole assembly up here. Although again, most bandsaws are designed to let this happen, if you're letting it happen on a regular basis, that's going to be horrible for your machine. And so that's pretty common sense. Anytime you have those extreme forces exerted on your machine, it's going to wear down parts, it's going to break parts eventually. Especially in this case, there's a lot of tension being released. There's a good chance, you can see there are some plastic parts in this whole assembly here. There's a good chance that those parts can break under that, that explosive tension release. So it's okay if it happens, once or twice a year, but if you're letting it happen every few months, that's going to be pretty bad for it. And again, if you can own a bandsaw for 30 years and never have a blade break in it, that's ideal because again, anytime you have those tension releases, it's going to be worse for your machine than just not having them in general. And so I've still got the blade here that broke, and so it was a pretty clean break. And so what's actually really interesting about this is that the weld on the blade is right there. And so the blade broke pretty much nowhere near the weld. It had nothing to do with how well this blade was welded. It was just a weakness in the steel of the blade that actually ended up snapping. And so now that we know what happens when the blade breaks, let's talk about why this happened. So there's a lot of signs that the bandsaw and the blades will give to the fact that they are going to break. So the first and most obvious thing you're going to notice before a bandsaw blade breaks is you're going to see the blade jumping back and forth. So if you're spinning this top wheel, what you're going to be looking for is that blade moving back and forth on that wheel, or especially down here, you're going to notice the blade moving back and forth a lot. That's your first key sign that the blade is about to break. And so it's really important if you're concerned about your blade breaking on you, just give the wheel a quick spin. And if your blade is moving backwards and forwards, that means that there's a crack somewhere. There's a significant enough crack somewhere in it that it is going to break fairly soon. And so I've got another blade here. I actually have two other blades that I've stopped before they actually broke in my machine because I ended up noticing that back and forth movement and I was able to catch it before it broke. And so this blade in specific was a very fine crack and kind of is different than the other two that I have here. So the blade that I actually broke, the crack started from the back side of the blade and came forward. Same with the other blade that I have sitting here, the crack started from the back and started moving forward. On this one, the crack is starting from right under one of the teeth and is moving backwards. So it all depends on, just the way the blade is sitting and some of wherever the weakness is in the steel. And so with the blade just loose like this, it's very hard to actually see these cracks. Now the crack on this blade right now just looks like it's a fold in the metal or just, a little damage to the metal itself. But when you actually put it under tension of the wheels, it very much so starts to open up and becomes very obvious to see. And then on this other one, you can actually see the crack has formed completely right over the weld. So in the case of those other two blades, so the one that broke and the one I just showed you before, they were just weaknesses in the steel. There's some defect in the steel, something is not going great in there, and so they developed a crack. In this case, this is a sign of a bad weld. So the blade that I broke this weekend, I was fully expecting it to break eventually. I knew it was getting close, and I was just trying to make one last cut with it before I thought it was going to be done. And so before I could actually make that last cut, it went bang in my machine, and the story just kind of ended there. Again, not very exciting. But what I've been using that blade for was a whole bunch of resawing. And so you can see behind me, I've got a little white oak cabinet on the go here. Video for that will be coming out at some point in the future here. And it's all made from 8/4 stock that was all resawed down so that I have some nice book matching and all that. But in total, I resaw about, I think I did 5 resawing cuts, and all of those pieces are 9.5 inches tall. So that's pretty tall in the bandsaw, and actually made it do a lot of work. And I was using that blade for I think a month or two before I did all that resawing. Now, I'm not really surprised that blade broke because I was doing a lot of heavy work with it. Resawing white oak is a very hard task, especially for a machine like this, and you need really tough blades, and you can expect to go through a few blades if you're doing a lot of resawing anyway. And as soon as you're working with white oak, it's just going to limit that even more because it's such a hard hardwood. And so before I did those big resawing operations, I needed to make sure that my blade was fully ready to go. So before I did those operations, I took the blade out of the machine, I went in and cleaned it with some resin cleaner to make sure all the teeth were nice and clean, they didn't have any debris buildup on them. Then once I had the blade set up again, I went through and I actually visually checked every single tooth on here to make sure that nothing was chipped, broken, damaged, there was no obvious cracks or anything. Nothing that was going to get in the way of me making those big resawing cuts that took about 10 minutes a piece. So again, anytime you're going to be doing a large operation like resawing, you need to go through and check your blade completely, just to be as safe as absolutely possible. Because a blade break when you're not touching the machine or you're just making a small cut on the machine is not very dangerous. But if I had a 9.5 inch tall piece of white oak in here and the blade broke halfway through, that would be very bad. And so again, when you're checking that blade, what you're looking for is damaged or missing teeth. That's a very key sign that you're going to have, that it's going to start cracking. If you have any missing teeth, for sure, that usually means that you've hit a nail or something, and that's an area that is definitely going to develop a crack in the future. I've never actually had that. I always check my wood for any metals before I started putting them through any of my machines here. Especially since I got my saw stop, I'm very cautious about any metals or any of that in my wood. So I always check for that. But again, I've seen online a lot of people talk about, if you hit a nail, you're definitely going to develop a crack right around on that blade, right around where you hit that nail. So you just it's probably time to switch out the blade anyway. And again, the best way I've found to find these cracks is, again, you just kind of keep your fingers on the back side of the blade here. Never put your fingers right on the front where the teeth are, and just slowly spin it around, kind of checking visually, looking where it goes. And you can usually feel where there's a crack because it's going to feel very sharp and jagged. Again, don't pinch too hard so that crack cuts open your finger. That's not going to be a good thing. And so the best way to prevent your blade from breaking in your bandsaw is to just watch its movements. As soon as you see that blade moving back and forth, you know that there's going to be a crack in it and that it's going to break sometime soon. Now, with the blades that I typically use here that are 5/8 of an inch wide, it's very, the cracks do take a little while to develop, and they do have a little bit of runtime before they actually break. As I've already shown you, I've got 2 blades that actually never actually broke, and I've got one that did break and I knew it was going to break. And so if you're working with thinner blades though, those blades are going to break a lot faster compared to these 5/8 ones. So on these 5/8 blades that I typically use, I can find the cracks before they ever end up breaking, and it's very obvious when there's a crack in them. Whereas with like a 1/4 inch or a 3/16 inch wide blade, because they're so narrow, those cracks are just going to go right through there really quickly. Most of the cracks that are on these blades that I have are already, a 1/4 of an inch wide before these blades have ever gotten close to cracking or have even become noticeable. So again, with your wider blades like this, it's easy to catch them before they crack. With your narrower blades, like your 1/4 inch and 3/16 inch, you just have to be a little bit more careful and pay a little bit more attention. Definitely check for any hairline fractures, any of those small issues every once in a while, because those blades are much more likely to just kind of give out one day compared to these wider blades that I typically use. And so then the final piece of this is kind of what do you do with the broken blade? Well, depending on where you are in the world, some places will actually re-weld the blades and resharpen them for you. I'm still trying to find a place here in Calgary that'll actually even just sharpen bandsaw blades, so that's a little bit of a trick in and of itself. But in most cases, if your bandsaw blade is not totally damaged, they can generally go in and re-weld it and resharpen it, and then you can get a whole another use out of that bandsaw blade. And where that break happened, generally that weld is going to be the strongest point. So it is actually a really good way to use up your blade. And so if I missed anything there, or you guys have any other questions about this topic, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'm happy to answer them. And as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.